Welcome back, and thank you for clicking on this video from the series Would You Like to Know More? My name is CaptJacSparo, and in this short video we're going to be talking about drills, mining specifically with an HV. As you can see, I have two completely different sides of the spectrum miners here, the tried and true LadyBug and Spanj's FlatEarther. Who made the LadyBug? I should know this because Smiggly. I know that name. That's how old this is. The LadyBug is a blast from the past, a classic, a tried and true hero of Empyrion. And then you have a to the extreme, to the point I've even retrofitted and converted Spanj's FlatEarther into a SV just to get the power behind the FlatEarther in an SV. But that's not what this is about. This is about something that I have been yelling about for years, ever since I stumbled on the feature that I don't think a lot of people know about. I've mentioned it to a few different YouTubers. I've never seen it in another video. I've never seen a YouTuber, a content creator, another player use this feature. It's mining mode. Did you know there's a mining mode in this game? I didn't know it until I stumbled on it. So let's go ahead and show it off. So in the LadyBug is known, and I think this is the LadyBug 2.0. It is known for being squirrely. I mean, look at that. That control is stupid. You can purposefully roll this thing. And the way that you get around that is you turn down your rotation sensitivity. I'm not going to mess with that because I want it to be squirrely. How this works, this mining mode, if you hold shift on the left shift button and hit O, down in the bottom right corner, you see two icons. The ship with the arrow saying that you have what I call inertial dampeners turned on. Star Trek geek there. That is the I key on your keyboard. And then you have drills. The drill icon, which is the second one just above the 8.4 power usage, that's indicating that you have drills on the ship. That's all that's doing. That's not mining mode. Mining mode is holding shift on the left side of your keyboard and hitting O. Third icon pops up. It looks like a little earth with a crosshair in it that's kind of rotated a little bit. And voila, instantly the squirreliness is gone. When you do that, you can mine way more proficient and way more carpal tunnel and way less carpal tunnel inducing. Left mouse button while in this mode activates and deactivates your drills. Once you activate them, you don't need to touch the mouse. Matter of fact, I will put the mouse out of my reach. The mouse is now ahead of my keyboard, and I am just using the WASD to move forward, back, left, right in a strafe mode, and then the arrows to turn and tilt. So let's go ahead and tilt down. We'll tilt down to like, a crazy 50 degrees there. Crosshair is kind of close to 50 degrees. I would never do this without this mode. And then we're going to dive down into the ground. And then once I get far enough into the ground, I'm going to tap the O key, just the O key while I tap forward. And what that'll do is zero me out on the planes, XYZ planes, until I get back to 0, 0, 0. Actually, just 0, 0. Okay, now that the 0 plane is reachieved, we are drilling. Hit the V and then the Alt key. That unlocks my mouse so I can turn around and view the camera. Look at this. This is crazy. Now, unfortunately, I don't have arrow keys next to my WASD, so rotating you need your other hand. You need your mouse hand for this, because you would normally rotate like this. And watch this. This is what turned me on to this. I will inadvertently, just out of habit every once in a while, hit the O key, hold it down for a second, just to make sure I'm still zeroed out on the 0 plane. Back in the cockpit, we're still on the 0 plane. The HVs have they're notorious for just grazing the bounding box on a ship and tipping. So just tap that O key, ignore that target out of range. I don't know why we get that bug. And look at that, we're right back at the tunnel. Free the camera. Look at that. I've never been able to do that without this mining mode. It's just not achievable, especially in a LadyBug. LadyBug's a great drill, great starter drill, a great pocket drill. You queue it up in your workshop and just let it sit there, because it didn't cost you hardly anything to get. And then you just mine. Just mine. So let's go ahead and get out of this hole. Remember, this was 45, 50 degree incline on this hole. And aside from maybe those 3 little peaks right there, we're going to walk out of this hole. And you're going to want to bite into that ramp just a hair and then start tipping up. Back to the 50 degrees. No fuss, no muss. We are out of the hole. And look at that incline. Works in any gravity as long as you're not over-gravitying the ship, over what is this thing doing? It's wanting to go back in the hole. So that's mining mode. Now, to be fair in all aspects of this mode, there are tiny instances where it hangs up, especially when you get into ships like this, where she's wide. She's wide. But again, we're in mining mode. 1 click to the drill. Let's go ahead and get some elevation, because they do like to hang up on anything hanging under the ground or hanging down. Stop camera. This camera does not like this ship. Okay, that's really getting to me. Get it up in the air. And just like the LadyBug with this one, we're going to go ahead and get down into the ground. Let's go a little sharper of an angle. Let's go down to the 50s. Forget it. Let's go to 60. See, there was it just snagged on something. We are in the ground. I mean, that counts as in the ground, right? I think that counts as into the ground. Okay, so let's go ahead and start tapping the O button. Give it a little bit long. Yes, okay, so there was one thing that I wanted to point out. It just released the mining mode, and it does that because your elevation of the ship is too high. If you get too high in elevation, it will release. So you just reset the mining mode, re-zero out your plane, and then just keep going. Maybe go down a little bit. And it just released again. Shift O to turn on mining mode again. This is a common problem that I see with larger ships that take a larger swath to zero out, because it has to make that whole turn in the length of that ship. So, but once we're in the ground, that little nub right there on the right side, right upper corner, we would hang up on that little nub. It's a voxel thing. It's Nothing to do with the ship. Well, it's everything to do with the ship because it's just the way the game works. But now we can start our turn. See how it's kind of tipping on that O axis, or on that at zeroed axis. You kind of want to tap that. Hung up on something. Feels like something on the ground. But it's still working. Still working great. Small hiccups on the hanging up on the soil. But the big thing that we're not getting is we're not getting the squirreliness, the jagged, unusable surfaces that you can't get out of while mining, the uncontrolled mining vessels, mining HVs that invert and flip over, and they just cause you to pull your hair out and make you never want to use an HV to mine. But in all honesty, an HV on planet for mining is nuts. This mode changes mining, in my opinion. I still use it, even though I have an asteroid miner that's very proficient. Look at that. Look at that. We're back to the entrance. That's nuts. You can't do that without this mode. Strafe a little bit to get back into the area. The way that I've kind of worked out how to prevent from snagging on the walls is recut the wall. So pick a side that you want to traverse and cut that wall just a hair. It means you're going to be away from that other wall on the left, or the right if you choose the right. So tap that O, get on that zero plane. We may end up losing mining mode here, so I could tip down. And that's just because there's a gap between the ship that is larger than the ship likes. And then bite into this ramp. And then start tipping up. Don't tip up too quickly in larger HVs, because the ship won't like it and you'll lose your mining mode on one of the more important reasons why I use this, and that's leaving the excavated hole. So this one's giving me a little bit of problem. I think it's because of the weight of it's the weight of the ship. So she's full. So yeah, so like I was saying, I wanted to show this off because not a lot of people use this mode. But look at this. I mean, went around this little pillar here. There's the ladybug's hole. Can you do that with your miner? Are we doing it wrong? I think we're doing it wrong. I think this is the right way to mine. All right, so with that said, I tried to keep it short and sweet. I hope you enjoyed this video. I hope it gave you some information you might not have known. If you have any other ideas for future videos for me, any questions that need to be tested, or any of the above, feel free to use the comments below, and enjoy.